Hey guys, I'm going to start the video by doing a bit of a update on my position that I told you guys about yesterday, and after that I want to go into the possibility that Bitcoin could be a lot more bullish than a lot of people are thinking right now. So first of all, do a bit of a recap here. You guys know that I entered my trade when we broke out of this wedge. I had showed you a bunch of take profits and where I had updated my stop loss and that sort of thing yesterday, so I don't need to go over that. But one thing that I want to go over is I did point out that this was a potential bull flag right here. It was very messy, albeit, but I did end up adding to my position when we got this close above because I wasn't sure if this was going to play out as a perfect bull flag or not, but I did tell you guys that my potential target was going to be a measured move here from the breakout point. And look at that, guys. I took some of my profits at this level, and I had also mentioned that this measured move actually made a lot of sense because we have found resistance at the 95-9600 area before. So right now, I am curious to see if we get another bit of a bull flag. I was actually just under the impression that we were in one, but this is looking more like a fake out to me, guys, and not just because the candle is red right now, but we only had our 2 touch points before we got our green close above. So that never followed my rules of the 3 touch points before a breakout. So that's why I didn't add to my position on this one, even though I did assume that this was a bull flag. I do have a large portion of, I think about 2/3 of my position remaining open right now. I only took a third off from my new entry has changed a lot because I added to my position here, so I would have to check my average entry, but anyways, after taking a third there, I do have my stop loss somewhere below this little bit of structure here, and the rest of it a little bit below that. And obviously, because I still want to lock in profits rather than open myself up to risk, even though I think this trend is bullish, even if we drop down and retest this green line, I told you guys I was looking for a potential double bottom along that line. You can see where it comes from our initial little triangle breakout there to take us out of this wedge. So I would expect a retest of that line at some point, and that wouldn't surprise me. But if that happens, I will be stopped out of my position in profit, and I will be looking for a re-entry. Now I want to go into some more bullish theories here long term. I'm going to clean this up a little bit for you guys here. And there we go. It'll be a little nicer here. I'm going to zoom out to the 1 hour. Here you can see it's basically the same as the 15. We got some consolidation, looks kind of like bull flags. And a lot of you guys would know that Bitcoin does follow fractal patterns where it tends to repeat itself. That's why descending triangles are so popular as well as ascending triangles. But let's zoom out a little further to the 4 hour. So you can see here that this wedge is my first little indication that things are bullish right now. And that's because it's a bullish pattern. And on a 4 hour, after we had quite a big uptrend, like we are technically in an uptrend right now, since we bottomed out after all the markets crashed there. But now look at this, you guys. Look at this triangle here. And look what I'm seeing right now. I know I pointed this out yesterday, but I just want to mention it again because there's some traders that I respect a lot that are looking at this quite bearishly. And to me, this triangle looks very similar to this one here. As well, we have this trading action over here, as well as on top of this cluster here. We are trading above all that previous resistance, which is now hopefully a support flip. We tested the top of this range perfectly, and it really wouldn't surprise me to see this coil up in this triangle a little more and get our break. And as I've been watching, this is the golden area that you guys know I'm interested in. And that is because if I load up the weekly chart, I know I point this out every video, but I wouldn't if I didn't think it was important. So I'm gonna erase this line because I don't think it's relevant anymore. But it's this line, guys. You know, I've been pointing it out. I think it is the most important trend line in Bitcoin right now. I think if we break above that and actually stay above, do a bit of consolidation or at least some sort of a retest, I think that's where we're going to start testing some possible new levels. And you guys know that my target for that is around 28,000 for the same reason for the previous triangles just today and yesterday I've been showing you. You guys know how that measured move works, and well, that's around $28,000. And that's just a first target, guys. I would be taking profits before that if I was in trades, obviously. But as an overall outlook, that's a very realistic target, I think. And I wouldn't be surprised to start seeing some of these levels of resistance start acting as support, guys. Like if we got something like a bit of a breakout here, retest as support, retest as support, retest as support, and really see a true bull market kick in and see one of those classic Bitcoin moves where it moves thousands of percents possibly. Of course, guys, none of this has to happen, and there's going to be a lot of trades between any of these massive moves actually happens. It's just all theoretical at this point, but it's something to keep on the radar because if any of you were around in the last bull market, I know I wasn't until the very end, but you can look back in the charts and see that the amount that Bitcoin can move in cryptocurrencies with the low market cap, low liquidity, it can be moved hard. Big players in the game can move the market a lot harder than they can with the traditional markets. And that's what makes Bitcoin a little more risky than traditional assets, is that it's easier to move, it's a lot more volatile and all that sort of stuff. Of course, you guys do your own research. None of this is financial advice. These are only my opinions and the way that I'm looking to speculate on the market for now and hopefully crush this market. But anyways, guys, that's kind of why I'm looking at this very bullishly. Obviously, anyone who's been listening to my channel since my very first video, I've been pointing out this triangle, so it's no surprise that I still am, because I will until it breaks one way, hopefully up. Honestly, it doesn't really matter, because if it does break down, there's going to be money to be made by playing shorts and that too. Just the way markets work in general, usually moving to the upside over time. I don't see why this time would be any different. The only thing I can come up with, which is a valid point, would be that now shorting is a thing. People couldn't make money on the way down before other than just taking profits, whereas now that's a thing. But that being said, now with those exchanges being in place, there's also a ton of leverage out there, which means that there doesn't need to be as much money in the market for it to swing even more wild. So those are all things to consider with the fundamentals, guys, but I'm not here to discuss that so much as I am with my simple trend lines. So again, do your own research. And yeah, with that, let the crypto gods shine down on you guys. And with that, I'm out. Peace.